Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Chaz Price. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. The website, arhq.com. Longtime listeners of the show, or if you've checked out previous editions of the show on Apple Podcasts or YouTube or wherever you go, will know that this time last year, you guys were very pro I-bond, the government-issued bond, which had a pretty high rate of return. It is actually, the rate just changed. Here we are in May. It just changed again recently. So let's talk about the rate right now and whether this is still a strong strategy for people. Guys, what is the current I-bond rate right now?
Yeah, it has just changed this month in May, and we did really talk a lot about this about a year ago. You know, the rates over a year ago got over to 9%, and it was in a very short window of time that those government I-bonds went from paying almost next to nothing to paying a significantly high rate. I had not thought about bonds since I think maybe Grandma or Grandpa put them in my Easter basket, so it had been quite a while. But I did purchase for my own family I-bonds last year. I put them into the account like we talked to a lot of our listeners. And the rates just changed in May of 2023. So the rate is currently 4.3%, and that rate goes from May to October 31st, 2023. So a lot of investors have been concerned about the volatility of the market. They've been concerned about lazy assets and kind of dead money at the bank. You know, when you look at it, you also, in any investment that you do, you want to look at, the length of time, how long your money has to be invested, what are any charges or penalties if you get out beforehand, and, how the inner workings are. So last year, it was kind of difficult to get that information. I remember trying to call the U.S. Treasury Direct Department, and after 90 minutes sitting on hold, I ended up just hanging up because nobody had reached out and answered the phone. So for those of you that are listening, if you want to know about what the current I-bond rates are, or how to set up an account with the U.S. Treasury Department, or if you want to know like what the current money market rates are, or what the fixed rates or CD rates are in the industry, I would encourage you just call our office, and our office is more than happy to kind of help steer you in the right direction, be able to kind of navigate it and talk about where some of the things that are out there. But, again, the current U.S. government I-bond rate as of May 2023 is at 4.3%. When we look at this, to me, I think now starts to say there's other alternatives that are out there that are probably more attractive. For example, some of the larger financial institutions that are out there, they offer money market funds. Some of these money market funds are actually high or higher than what the I-bond rate is. Now, again, the disadvantage of money market rate is typically they can change on a weekly basis, so they could go up or down a little bit quicker, but you have more liquidity. You don't have the time frame commitments that you do with I-bonds. We also have a lot of 3 to 5 year fixed products. With 3 to 5 year fixed products, things like fixed annuities that are out there, you continue to see rates in that 5.25 range. So there's some higher options that are still out there in the marketplace. We recently met with a lady that had come in. She had an old 403 retirement plan, and in her plan, she had a 4% fixed rate, was super excited about that. And I would agree, a year or two ago, that would have been great. But now with the rates over, again, you can get them as high in the 5.25 range for that 3 to 5 year basis. And in her situation, she wanted to look at locking in a higher rate as long as possible. So, with these contracts, you can typically lock things in for 7-10 years. There's different time frames to look at. Again, what you want to know is you want to know the ins and outs that are out there. So that is the bottom line where the government I-bonds are at right now, 4.3%. If you have any lazy money, don't let lazy assets stay in your portfolio. Give us a call. We'll talk to you about the different rates that are out there. We'll help you navigate finding what could be the best rate for the goal that you're trying to accomplish with the time frame that you have.
It's being able to explore other alternative investments, as you guys are so fond of talking about. Yes, last year around this time, I-bonds were very favorable, so much so that when they changed back last November, the website actually crashed in the days prior to that. So 4.3%, as Nolan said, is what the rate is right now. If you want to find out more information about that or explore perhaps more alternative, more robust options out there for you, give a call to the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, and they'll be happy to sit down and explore those with you. 419-794-3030 or on the website arhq.com.